Dalsum, being a fighter that uses yoga, is a head-scratcher. Does it make sense as a fighting style? Well, we will break down the components of Dalsum's fighting style today. So, let's get into it. The manuals for the SNES and Genesis versions of Street Fighter II describe Dalsum's non-canon fighting style as Kabaddi, which is actually an Indian sport. This indicates that Capcom wasn't very clear on Dalsum's fighting style. The phrase latent kundalini, which refers to spiritual energy or life force located at the base of the spine and is associated with Kundalini Yoga, was finally used in Super Street Fighter II to connect his fighting style to yoga. The Street Fighter V sheet card finally refers to Dalsum's combat style as esoteric yoga, making it clear that the yoga practices are the source of his power. Esoteric yoga is a method to live in practical, everyday unity with our deepest selves, our souls. Esoteric yoga invites us to reestablish a relationship with our body and the characteristic of stillness in our regular motions and activities because of how easily it can be done. The fighting skills of an Indian fighter in Jimmy Wang Yu's 1976 action film Master of the Flying Guillotine are similar to this and Dalsum's fighting skills. The fighter in the movie possessed the same combat techniques as Dalsum and could extend his limbs to attack. I think Capcom took more inspiration from the Yoga Warrior in this movie than from anything else when developing his fighting style. Even though the concept of the yoga fighting style was cool, does yoga fit as a fighting style? Yoga can be defined as any process that results in unity within an individual. The word yoga means to unify or to bind together. The English term yoke and the word yoga share a common root. Oxen are yoked when they are tied together to pull a cart together. Similar to this, practicing yoga is a multifaceted process of union. On a physical level, it entails bringing the body's physiological processes into harmony by bringing disparate parts together, out of alignment parts into alignment, and processes that are in conflict with one another into balance. A yogi works to unite his or her body through exercise. Unified bodies have the capacity to be both incredibly powerful when in motion and incredibly silent when at rest. Numerous other levels are involved in the process of unification, but in the end, all levels merge to form one. The concepts of the unity of the body, mind, and spirit, the unity of awareness with the present moment, the unity of the masculine and feminine energies, the human and the environment. The human and the environment, the human and the universe, or the human and the divine may be included in these further levels. The majority of modern combat arts have their roots in the ancient Vedic practice of yoga. The Indian martial art known as Kalari Payat, which is essentially a pure embodiment of martial yoga, is the oldest martial art in existence. The Buddhist monk Bodhidharma, 5th to 6th century CE, who established both Zen, Chan, and Shaolin Kung Fu, introduced Kalari Payat or a comparable style of martial yoga into China. Both of these disciplines had a significant impact on how the martial arts evolved into what they are today. Is yoga good for martial arts? Well, yes. Doing yoga regularly will help you get better at your martial arts. While martial arts certainly call for physical abilities like agility, balance, and flexibility, they also place a strong emphasis on developing cerebral abilities like sharpening attention and overcoming challenges. The 7 virtues of Bushido, which were practiced by the samurai of ancient Japan, are the foundation of many martial arts and karate systems. Integrity, bravery, mercy, respect, honesty, honor, and loyalty are some of them. This situation only serves to highlight how crucial the internal component of martial arts is, if not more so, than the exterior ones. Yoga is comparable to this in that it requires mental toughness and perseverance to proceed through flows and refine position technique. Yoga also includes breathing exercises and meditation to help you improve the attention you need for your practice. The following are additional advantages of yoga that easily translate to martial arts. Enhances body awareness. Builds breath control. releases stress, builds strength, especially in the core, improves flexibility, and builds balance. Martial yoga, commonly referred to as warrior yoga, is the study of the yogic postures and ideas present in martial arts as well as the study of the contemporary warrior side of yoga. Yoga was the warrior's discipline in antiquity, and its physical and spiritual practices still contain elements of the warrior character. In several levels of vinyasa flow sequences, freedom-style martial yoga exposes the fundamental motions and energy theories of conventional martial arts. Traditional yoga asanas, postures, and pranayama, breathing exercises, are included into the flows to bring out the martial benefits and strengths of the asanas in practice. Nejia Quan, Tai Chi, Chinese internal martial styles, and Qigong, Capoeira, Muay Thai, and Aikido are the primary martial styles that have influenced freedom-style martial yoga. Every martial art has its own distinct set of movement specialties. Together, they provide a flawless synthesis of human movement. In the Street Fighter universe, yoga is not widely known as a fighting style, but can be seen in a few warriors' core practices. The only stated yoga users that use fighting techniques are Dalsim and Dr. Gulab Jamun. The other 5 yoga masters do have specialties that can translate to fighting, but is not stated that they do. Other than the 7 yoga masters, there are no other characters that are rooted in yoga. Even though Dalsim's fighting style is now recognized as esoteric yoga, I would change it to a real-world formed martial arts study known as martial yoga. The 7 yoga masters all are rooted in the classical yoga's principles: yama, universal moral codes; niyama, self-purification by discipline; asana, postures; pranayama, rhythmic control of breath; pratyahara, withdrawing of mind from senses; dharana, concentration; dhyana, deep meditation; and samadhi, union with the object of meditation. I do hope they develop more fighters in yoga and using these principles in different ways. The techniques that Yod warriors use all are rooted in the very classical principles previously stated. Yoga fire and all its variations and evolved forms are rooted in pranayama and dharana. Through the use of rhythmic control of breathing and concentration, Dalsim is able to use illusionary fire that has the capability to burn, if performed to do so. You can see this in other moves like Yoga Gale, Yoga Flame, and Yoga Inferno. Yoga Teleport and all its variations and evolved forms are rooted in pratyahara and dhyana. Once going in deep meditation and withdrawing one's mind from senses while concentrating on a location, the practitioner will be able to teleport to that location. Without concentrating on a location, the user will be able to perform yoga float or floating. When using the principles asana and pranayama, the users will perform physical strikes. Moves like Yoga Strike, Merciless Yoga, and Yoga Shangri-La are examples of how Dalsim uses those principles for attacking. The last way shown to use yoga in attacks is the combination of asana, samadhi, and pranayama. With this combination is executed, moves like Yoga Expansion, which is a hyper armor, is created. The Yoga Iron Ball is the literal attack form of Yoga Expansion. The practitioners of the Street Fighter series who have gained notice in yoga includes Dalsim, Jagjit, Amitabh, Mahabali G, Sheila, Dr. Gulab Jamun, and Master Y, who are the yoga masters. Other fighters connected to yoga in their fighting style are Darren Mister and the Wraith through the use of Malakam, which is a type of exercise done in Indian wrestling. Well, that is what I have gathered on yoga as a form of combat. So, see you all in the next fighting style video.